Hi, this is George with 573 Medicine, and in this video we're going to be going over cell structure and hierarchy. So let's get started. First, we should understand that human cells contain functional structures called organelles. The first is the nucleus, which contains the DNA of the cell, and inside of the nucleus is the nucleolus. And this is responsible for synthesizing rRNA, which are also the building blocks of the ribosome. The next organelle is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is lined with ribosomes, and ribosomes are important structures which convert mRNA into protein via a process called translation. The next organelle is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and this is the site of lipid and steroid synthesis. The next is the Golgi Body, or the Golgi apparatus, and this is responsible for post-translational modification, so after mRNA is converted into protein, and as well as the transporting of proteins. The next is the mitochondria, and this is responsible for generating energy, or ATP, of the cell. The next is the lysosome, which is responsible for degrading debris inside of the cell. The next is the peroxisome, which is responsible for degrading lipids. The next is the proteasome, which is responsible for degrading proteins. The next organelle is called the cytoskeleton, and this is composed of three parts. The first is the microtubule, or the largest part, and this contains cilia and flagella for cell mobility, as well as plays an important role in mitoses. The next are the intermediate filaments, which are medium-sized, and these have an important structural role for the cytoskeleton, as well as these structures are stained in the diagnosis of diseases, so the intermediate filaments of the cytoskeleton can be stained, and this can help clinicians determine what disease it is. So for instance, the GFAP stain will stain the intermediate filament of the cytoskeleton, and if it stains positive for GFAP, then you can have the diagnosis of astrocytoma because of the intermediate filaments of the cytoskeleton. The next are the microfilaments, and these contain the actin and myosin sarcomeres, which are important for muscle contraction. These also have microvilli, which increase the surface area for the absorption of nutrients in the cell, and also obtain cell-to-cell junctions such as tight and adherens junctions. The next organelle is the cytosol, and this is the liquid structure which surrounds organelle and aids in the structure of the cell. And the final is the plasma membrane, which is the lipid layer that surrounds individual cells. So next, let's talk about the hierarchy of cells. So a collection of molecules, so for instance carbon or organic matter, compose cells. A collection of cells, and in this example we're going to be using the cardiovascular system. So the individual cells are called the cardiac myocytes, and these compose tissues. So a collection of cardiac myocytes composes cardiac tissue. A collection of tissues, so cardiac tissue, will form an organ. So the heart is a collection of cardiac tissue. A collection of organs, so for instance the heart and vessels, form an organ system. And a collection of organ systems, so for instance the cardiovascular system, the GI system, will form organisms, so humans. So that's it for this video. If you liked the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and feel free to email us anytime at realtalkmeded@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or concerns.